What is good? What up? What up? What up, everyone? What's poppin'? I got some exclusive details for y'all tonight on NBA YoungBoy, but also a whole nother story popped up because we had been talking about Young Buck for the last few days. On NBA YoungBoy, we have been talking about Young Buck for the last few days. Everything that's been going on with him. Got a lot of other news for you guys as well. Let's let everybody get up in here. Appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. Got some major updates. Major update on ARAB as well, you guys. I know a lot of y'all been actually waiting on that exclusive interview. I know y'all have been waiting on for me to do an exclusive interview with ARAB, and I can report that we actually have a new interview, you guys. Voice and all. What up, Strictly Business? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. We're touching on a couple topics. We've got exclusive details from NBA YoungBoy's Warrant. The NBA YoungBoy Warrant details have leaked, you guys, so we're going to get into that tonight. But also 50 Cent has come back at Young Buck like crazy. You know what I mean? Pretty much calling him out for saying that they were going to have a G-Unit reunion. A lot of people pretty much predicted that one. What up, Peasy? Appreciate you for tapping in. Holly Street in the building. Everybody hit that like button as you're tuning in and share this video. Share the video, everyone. Appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. It's going to be crazy when I drop that ARAB interview for y'all, though. A beautiful dude. What up, what up, what up, man? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Winners Entertainment for Life in the building. Omar, I see you, my dude. Yeah, we got some exclusive details on why the FBI actually busted NBA YoungBoy. The FBI nabbed him in LA, you guys, for 2020 charges in Louisiana. That's right. TMZ actually broke the news on it. We're going to talk about that tonight, but we're also going to talk about 50 Cent basically pulling the string on Young Buck's whole ploy. You know, Young Buck had a ploy basically where he went on live and he said a couple different things that kind of raised some flags. You know, Buck really kind of caught some people off guard when they was like, me and 50 actually staged this whole thing. This is something that 50 and I actually put together. Yeah, Young Buck claimed that he actually sat down with 50 and 50 explained how they were going to capitalize and bring back Young Buck's popularity. This is what Young Buck alleged. Who you talking about, Omar? Who's too wild, yo? Appreciate you for tuning in. Spencer's in the building. What up, man? Dallas is in the building tonight. Major salute. Major salute to Dallas for tapping in. You know I got love. You know I got love for Texas. Major salute to everybody out in Texas tuned into the video. Go ahead, hit that like button. Share this video. We got a lot to talk about tonight. I actually just got off the phone with ARAB. So we got a major surprise for you guys. We got a major surprise for you. Oh, yeah, NBA YoungBoy, wild dude. You know, as I said the other night, you know, filming videos with guns, Instagram videos with guns and shit like that, just going to the whole extra level. Grams, New York, salute to you for tapping in. Hit that like button if you haven't already. You know, I appreciate you tapping in tonight. We got a couple dope stories. We got a couple dope stories to go into tonight, you guys. I guess we should start off with the warrant details from NBA YoungBoy. I guess that's what we should start off with because that's the most, you know what I mean? That's the most frequent case. I mean, frequent. That's the most, that's the case that we were actually not even going to be reporting on. And then in the middle of the live, the news broke about NBA YoungBoy, you know, getting arrested and shit like that. Big ups, big ups, big ups to Alabama. Anthony, what's up, man? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Ryan Jeffrey says free NBA YoungBoy. Damn right. Damn right. Free NBA YoungBoy. You know, even Kodak Black had commented on it and was talking about free NBA YoungBoy, y'all. Strictly Business says, what's up with NBA YoungBoy? We're about to get into that right now. 305 is up in this bitch tonight. What up, Mitchell? Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Fat Boy June, maybe Young Boy being in jail will help him learn his lesson. Omar asked, do I think if Floyd Mayweather is going to be involved in this? With NBA YoungBoy fathering, a child with one of Floyd Mayweather's, daughters, I find it hard to believe that he wouldn't be involved with this. You know what I mean? I 100% find it hard to believe that he wouldn't be involved in this. NBA YoungBoy is obviously involved in their family. They've got kids. Floyd Mayweather is one of his child's grandparents. So you got to understand, like, these guys got big money. Money is going to talk. Money is going to talk, and I think Floyd will step in, being like, I seen pictures of him. They already bought the child a Rolly. You know what I mean? Floyd is on a whole nother level, you guys. If there's going to be a bail at any amount, or if there's going to be lawyers at any amount, Floyd is going to be the guy who could take care of those lawyers, y'all. Yo, the author of entertainment. He said, VA all day. Love that PD interview. Hey, man, I appreciate you tapping in and checking out the PD Crack interview series. The last part of my PD Crack interview is going to be dropping soon. It's actually PD Crack speaking on getting the chance to work with Old Dirty Bastard. That's right. We all know Old Dirty Bastard actually signed with Rockefeller. Dame Dash had brought him over to Rockefeller at one point. Well, PD Crack actually got the chance to work with him. Beautiful Murder says, yo, the last Kid segment was lit. Yeah, we actually had Kid tuning on the live last night for about an hour. Kid came in and joined us. Kid is actually starting his own podcast. It's Real Talk Radio, 100 or nothing. Kid's new platform is going to be dope. You know what I mean? He's had so much opportunity and so much so much light has been shined on him in the game from working with people like Birdman, from working with people like Lil Wayne and August Alsina, R&B, to 50 Cent and G Unit. You know what I mean? He has a lot of game to shed. He has a lot of light to shed on the game. You know what I mean? A lot of game to give. Anthony says Atlantic got lawyers from YoungBoy, but would you think he learned from Lil Wayne not to possess a firearm if convicted felon? A lot of these guys, man, they can't help themselves but carry a weapon, it seems to me. It seems to me that these guys, I've heard in interviews, some rappers say that they carry it on them every single day. You know what I mean? They carry the weapon on them every single day. So that means every single day they are being put at risk for a felony. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the major things of it. Salute Mikey T, Chemo Savvy. Appreciate you for tuning in. He says, salute Mikey T. Smash them likes. If you're just tuning in, hit that like button, you guys. Smash them likes, as Chemo says. Support Report Card Radio. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Fat Boy June says there's no talking when the feds are involved. A lot of people don't want to get close when the feds are involved, you dig? And I think Spencer's actually saying that in regard to NBA YoungBoy and Floyd Mayweather. But Floyd is a multi-hundred millionaire. You know what I mean? This guy has a couple $100 million at all times. That's why I say money talks. That's why I say he could have a team of lawyers. He could have a team of the best lawyers to go and get involved in this situation for NBA YoungBoy if he really wanted to take action. You know what I mean? And the case really goes back to that whole incident that happened in Louisiana. We're going to get into it in a second. There was just so many guns found. The NBA YoungBoy's lawyer claimed that all the guns there were registered. So many damn guns found, though. You got to imagine they found a little something on him. So we're going to get into that in a second, you guys. Appreciate everybody tapping in. If you're just getting in here, hit that like button. You haven't missed anything tonight yet. We've got two major topics that we're speaking on. We're going to touch on the warrant details. We're going to touch on why NBA YoungBoy was actually arrested tonight, you guys. That's what we're going to be talking about. And 50 Cent is calling out Young Buck. 50 is calling out Young Buck for saying that they were planning the whole thing. We all thought we were going to have the third G Unit reunion, but 50 has spoken on what Young Buck has said. So we're going to get into both of them joints tonight, you guys. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Hit that like button, and everybody just get ready. Roll up. We got a great show ahead for you. What up, Rashawn? Appreciate you for tuning in. Chemo says, hey, yo, Mikey T, Young Buck should have just stayed away, knowing 50 was going to spill the beans on him. You know, to me, I think Young Buck actually came out and was not came out like that, you guys. Don't sound blip this. I think Young Buck came out. I think Young Buck actually came out and started saying all this talk about him and 50 because he actually wanted a response from 50 Cent, you guys. Young Buck needed a response from 50 Cent. If you look at some of the views, that's what I've been pointing towards. I was like, when I was on here last night with some of the guys, I was like, when Young Buck was announcing that it was staged with him and 50 Cent on Instagram, he actually only had like 200 people in there. 175 people in there. So to me, it's like, dude, you and 50 didn't capitalize on anything. You guys didn't capitalize on anything whatsoever by, you know what I mean, by teaming up and trying to make your career look crazy. And then you were going to come back from all the adversity. You actually, that didn't work for you, Buck, because now you're on an Instagram live video with 175 people on it. No, that means you're not going to return to superstar status. You've lost it, Buck. This in turn has ruined your career. Shadrick, appreciate you for tuning in tonight. What's going on with you? He said Red Bull needs to be paying you, homie, in the future. You know what I mean? In the future, we'll get a nice little Red Bull distribution. Buffalo, New York in the building. What up? What up? What up? Fat Boy June asked, what did 50 Cent say? So I guess 50 will be the first story that we'll get into tonight, seeing as how we're talking about it so in depth right now. 50 will be, and I got some notes up from Young Buck here, you guys, but I've actually got the tweet that 50 Cent posted. I got the tweet that 50 Cent posted where he said, SMH, he only makes a fool of himself. And the transgender man he was dating for a year gets angry every time he says he's got catfished. Stop lying. Damn. So 50 basically is going back on Young Buck saying that he was catfished. 50 even going further to say that Young Buck had been dating a man for a year. Young Buck had been dating a man for a year. So pretty much everything post the last G Unit reunion, Buck entered in a relationship with a man. Now, Buck had elaborated on a story on Vlad TV where he said he had gotten messages through IG. He had got DMs of, you know, girls showing off various parts of their bodies. And he was like, yo, he's like, that chick looks bad. I want to go smash. You know what I mean? So that's why Buck actually went and did that and put himself out there like that in this position where he says he was catfished. Now, whether you believe Young Buck as to have been catfished or not, that's on you. A lot of people do believe Young Buck and a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? In the chat, what do you guys think? Was Young Buck catfished? I'm going to ask the chat. Was Young Buck catfished? I'm asking the chat right now, and I want to see everybody's answers. Yo, what up? Tuned in from Cincinnati. Appreciate you. Hold on, guys. Let me get my lighter. Let me get my phone. Yo, Andre Randolph, I appreciate that. Cash App, my dude, $10 Cash App from Andre. If anybody wants to support the channel, it's Cash App Mikey T Movie. Definitely appreciate that. So Young Buck says he got catfished. Young Buck is going on with the story that he got catfished, but 50 is basically saying you've been in a relationship with a man for a year. Now, this is a since deleted post. This is actually a deleted post, you guys. You know, it's kind of crazy for 50 to put that out there, that Buck had been dating a man for a year. But 50 went in, man. What up, Rap Zone TV? Appreciate you. Laker Philly fan says he wasn't catfished, Mikey. Fat Boy June says no, he's capping about being catfished. Omar says, you know a man from a woman. Yeah, 100%. What up, Chase Moolah? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Yeah, you know a man from a woman. Young Buck's situation, this guy was at superstar status. You know what I mean? This man was at superstar status.
Mikey, what's up, man?
This man was actually at superstar status at one point, you guys. And that's why I say when Buck actually, does a live and he's only got 175 people there, he's on Instagram Live with 175 people talking about him and 50 Cent were victorious. It's not true. It's like, dude, you are a far cry from where you used to be. Damn, come on. So let me read some of the notes here that I took about what Buck was actually saying in his Instagram post, you guys. Before I read what 50 said again, because I took some notes on what Buck was saying. Buck was saying Young Buck claimed. So 50 claims that Young Buck has been dating a man for a year, but 50 claims that Buck has been dating a man for a year, but Young Buck claimed that he sat down with 50 and 50 explained how they were going to capitalize off Young Buck actually losing his popularity. He said, Buck, I'm going to be dissing you like crazy. I'm going to be exposing all this shit like crazy on you on the internet. And then he even asked Buck the question. He said, Buck, do you think you can handle it? Do you think you can handle it? And Buck was like, handle it? I don't care about what none of these people say. That's literally what Buck said. He said, handle it. I don't care about what these people said. But yo, with the way that Buck has been reacting to all the transgender allegations, you can clearly see that he does care about what people have to say. You know what I'm saying? You can clearly see that Young Buck does care what people have to say. So that's one of the chinks in the armor. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the points right there where you can tell that Young Buck is capping when he talks about him and 50 actually coming back together. So Young Buck then went on to say, so Young Buck says, I guess 50 was right because they loved me again. My question is, do the people love Buck again? Buck doesn't have as many fans as he once had at one point when he was releasing records like Let Me In and Shorty Wanna Ride. And you know what I mean? At a certain point, he could command features from Young Jeezy and Trick Daddy and you know what I mean? And records from Jazzy Faye and The Game and T.I. and Ludacris. The Game had, Young Buck had the game in his hands, you all. Young Buck really had the game on smash. Yo, Laker, Philly fan, I appreciate you for the super sticker, man. Salute to you, my guy. Really appreciate you for tapping in. Beecher says, straight cap. James Brown says, Buck saw that Adam's apple. G Money has a new name for Young Buck. He said, Young Butt knew the trans was a boy. The video of him leaving the room never surfaced with his story. And then Young Buck had several phone conversations leaked where he was on the phone telling the girl, listen, boo. Or I don't know if he said boo or not. I can't remember. But yeah, listen, just take it off and I'll stop and everything will stop and you'll have the money in your account, all different types of shit where he's actually carrying on conversations with this person. You know what I mean? It's like if that was you and you got catfished, you leave it there. You know what I mean? You leave it there, you guys. If you go to a hotel and you go to meet up with some girl, if you get lucky enough that it's a girl or a guy posing to be a girl, you know what I mean? A lot of times in these catfish situations, you go up to the room, you go inside the room, and then you get knocked out and they take everything, your shoes, your money, your wallet, you know what I mean? Anything like that. They take all that shit. Now, Young Buck, you go there and it's a tranny. It's a girl pretending, it's a guy pretending to be a girl. You see that it's a girl, it's not a girl, and you say, yo, I'm out of here. Simple as that. And you leave. You don't have to do nothing more than that, Buck. You don't even have to address it. You can maybe address it one time on a major interview like how you ended up doing, but you don't spend your whole career addressing it like you have been doing. You know, it really makes you look suspect. It makes the whole situation look suspect. It's like, what the hell is going on with Young Buck? This is a guy that I respected. This is a guy that I let join the hottest rap group. And we, for some reason, as East Coast fans, called him the hottest member of G Unit. We were like, yo, we actually like Young Buck the most in G Unit. We let this guy come into G Unit. We let this guy take Tony Yayo's spot. Maybe it wasn't that hard of a spot to take or something like that, but you know what I mean? We let this guy come in and we embraced him, and now he's doing all this type of weird shit. I mean, even Mr. C offered him some advice. I think Mr. C said, yo, if that's what you're into, just tell the people what you're into. You know what I mean? Be real. Be real with it. Major salute to Lakers/Philly fan though. That's facts, man. I'm in the same boat with you, man. I do like the Lakers and I also like the Sixers. So, you know what I mean? I'm in the same boat as you there. Strictly Business says Buck knew what he was doing. He just got caught. And you know, to answer that question, man, it's like, why would he do that? Why would he do that? This dude's probably got baby mamas he could go hold up with. You know what I mean? You know, he could go take a flight and go back if he really need. Or he could end up just hiring anybody he wants. A lot of these rappers hire escorts. You know what I mean? Or he could just literally find any one of his real fans want to hook up with him. Omar says, Buck is frauding right now, and I like him a lot on the real, yo. Yeah, like I was just saying, we all let Buck into our hearts in this group that we loved from the underground circuit. You know what I mean? G-Unit. And Buck, in all honesty, went from a group in the underground circuit that we didn't really know about over here on the East Coast, UTP. You know what I'm saying? And he joined our East Coast group. You know what I mean? Because if we're talking about East Coast groups, man, you know G-Unit's bigger than Junior Mafia. Like, you know what I'm saying? Biggest East Coast group is G-Unit. Midnight, what up, man? Appreciate you tapping in. This issue is going to keep going until Buck gets his money. Well, I don't know if Buck can actually get money anymore in this music industry, yo. Because a few years ago, Buck was talking about his third album, and he was saying that 50 and Dr. Dre were going to do it. And even with all the hype behind 50 and Dre jumping on Young Buck's third album, you know, to follow up Straight Outta Cashville and Buck the World, nobody got interested. Even hearing that Dr. Dre was going to work with Young Buck, which I think that was cap anyways. I think they were just trying to drum up some interest. Omar says 50 Cent is the best to do it. You know, 50's definitely on top. I think he's on I think 50's number 7 in my top list from what I remember. What up, Schizo? Appreciate you tapping in tonight. LH Mike says, I'm dying laughing. Yeah, I appreciate the fact that I can give you some comedic relief, my dude. Yo, Keith, do yourself a favor and check out of my live. And also, nobody else will ever mention you in any live. Sorry. Mikey T, what up, my boy? Drew W, what's popping? Driz says, look how Lloyd Banks keeps his distance. Chemo says, shaking my damn head. Buck needs to go do some ghostwriting in another country or just stay away. Fifth ain't having it. Yeah, you know, that was one of the big things of why Fifth actually picked Buck up in the first place. That record, that Bloodhound record. You remember that record? Yeah, I remember the record clearly. You know, that was one of them. That Bloodhound record was a big, major reason as to why 50 took interest in bringing Young Buck on. And then the whole Southern aspect, it just sort of made sense. It's like, yo, you're not locked in with any deals. Perfect. You know what I mean? Because you weren't bringing somebody like BG, Lil Wayne. You weren't going to get Juvenile. None of those Southern Mystical. If he was, you know what I mean? You weren't going to get none of those artists over on G Unit at the time. So Young Buck was actually kind of a perfect fit. Midnight says Buck's vaccine project is nice. Yeah, I'm not doubting Young Buck's music ability. I like Young Buck's music. You know what I mean? It's just all this bullshit of him lying. And I'm not even just saying that he's lying about, you know, liking men or anything. I'm not even on here saying that. I'm saying it's some of the other things that he's done in his career that, like, as a fan have turned me off. You know what I mean? The consistent lying about when his albums were going to drop, saying that The Rehab was going to be his third album. I don't know if you all remember that, but the Rehab turned out to be a mixtape. I don't know if whether 50 Cent denied that project or not, but like Buck doesn't have a good track record with the fans after everything that happened between Straight Outta Cashville and Buck the World, and then after that, he decided that he wanted to go on tour with Throw Some D's on you know what I mean? He wanted to go tour with the Throw Some D's on him rapper in the South rather than jump on the tour of Asia with G Unit and go finish the Terminate on Sight album. So you're actually doing two objectives. That's two objectives that Buck floundered on. That's two objectives that Buck ditched out on, y'all. Buck ditched out on the tour of Asia, and he also ditched out on finishing the Terminate on Sight album. That's why we only saw him on 5 records or 6 cuts, and they turned him from being a regular G Unit member to now featuring Young Buck. Yeah, those are facts. Dollar Bill says NBA YoungBoy is signing to Gucci when he comes home. Not to go off of that topic because we're not there just yet, man. But I don't know if NBA YoungBoy really needs to sign with another artist in order to, you know what I mean? In order to actually be popping, yo. He doesn't. If anything, I would like to see a Gucci Man and NBA YoungBoy duet project. Yeah, Rich Boy. I said to throw some D's rapper, Great Scott, because I didn't want to say the wrong name. Chase Moolah says, if Buck wants to get back good with 50, he's got to holla at Tony Yayo. Then that's the only way. I don't know, man. I don't see a third reunion. You know what I mean? I don't see a third reunion for G Unit guys. I don't think I can't see a third reunion for G Unit. You know what I mean? Everything that happened with Young Buck and 50 in this last reunion, where 50 actually signed him back for an album with G Unit and then a solo album. So that right there showed me, when I learned that information, that showed me that 50 actually gave a shit to produce another Young Buck album because he knows Young Buck has a proven sales history. I think he went gold on Buck the World. He at least had to go gold on Buck the World. And then Straight Outta Cashville probably went double platinum, So he had a proven sales history with Young Buck, and that's why he wanted to keep him attached to the group. But I don't see another joint. I don't see another joint happening with them and G Unit, to be 100% honest with you. I don't see another album happening unless, and this is a big unless, I don't see another G Unit happening unless the Game comes involved. And then it's really just a reunion in that way. They'll do an album and they'll also do a tour. It'll be an official G Unit tour. Yeah. John Allen says, if 50 signed Lil Wayne, he or Birdman smoked. Who you think would have got smoked? I don't know what you mean by that. If 50 signed Lil Wayne, 50 wasn't in the position to sign Wayne. If you remember when Lil Wayne was actually going to sign to Jay-Z, there was a bidding war, a little bit of a bidding war between Lil Wayne, over Lil Wayne, between Birdman and Jay. Yep. And Birdman outbid him. Birdman straight up made Lil Wayne the president. Similar to when sorry, I just got thrown off by this Beg for Mercy question. Right here. Beg for Mercy versus TOS. Well, that's not even a question, man. Beg for Mercy over TOS all day. Beg for Mercy is actually a classic. Beg for Mercy is actually a classic compared to Terminate on Sight. Stacy Galore said G Unit reunion will never happen, especially with the Game. That's the only Stacy. What I'm saying is that's the only way it would make sense. A G Unit reunion at this point with the Game would be the only way that they actually sold out some tours and potentially did an album. Oh yeah, but 50 wasn't in the position to sign Wayne. 50 never did any songs with Wayne, Nicki, or Drake. Well, 50, I believe he's on the record with Kid and Lil Wayne. So Kid actually got a record with Lil Wayne and 50. Ooh. Yep, I agree. John Allen, Rock Nation is number one. Big facts. Game won't do it. Nah, Game would do it. Game is open to it, Schizo. Game is open to the idea of doing a reunion with G Unit, man. He's approached 50 Cent multiple times. Ryan Jeffrey says, "What's Game doing now?" Okay, then. Yeah. Driz says Wayne could have been solo if he was independent. Crazy. Yeah, Wayne could have went solo. You know what I mean? Yo, Abdul, appreciate the $5 super chat, man. Excuse me, the Cash App. Appreciate that Cash App, man. If anybody wants to support the channel, hit that Cash App Mikey T Movie. Also, if you want to come on here live tonight and spit, send $20 to the Cash App and I'll let you come on live and spit as well. Or you can just talk and bullshit on the topics with me. You know what I mean? Timothy Jones says Game ain't doing no music. Lawsuit. Yeah, actually, they say Game's proceeds from his music have to go to somebody else in regard to a lawsuit. Forever doing me. Mikey T, my guy. Appreciate you for tuning in. Forever doing me. James Brown said if the money is right, they will come back together. Exactly. And if it was actually 50, Game, Banks, Buck, Yayo, and Kid, throw my bro Kid in there for sure, then it would be stadium tours, you know? Because as Kid was saying the other night, he actually left on very good terms with 50 and all that. You know what I mean? So don't just check him out of the equation. I think as a G Unit fan, I think Kid brought a lot to the table. And if you need any clarification on that, go listen to The Beauty, go listen to The Beast, and also go watch several of those freestyles that G Unit all did together. You know, we saw G Unit in a whole nother light from the days when, you know, they would go on and it would be 50, it would be Banks, and it would be Yayo, and they would just spit for like 7 minutes. Of course, there was no video back then, but I heard the audio. Laker Philly fan says 50 won't do it. Yeah, 50 won't do it right now. But let's not rule out the idea of a tour when they get a little bit older, you guys. Let's not rule out the idea of Game touring when he's 55 years old. Let's not rule out the idea of Lloyd Banks touring or Buck touring. I guess we're talking about Buck in a different light. I don't know if Buck and 50 will ever be back cool again, even though Buck said that they were pretending this whole time. I didn't buy it. Nobody bought it. And I think even less people bought the catfishing story. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? What up? What up? A real Philly OG in the building. Michael A says, Kid said, I brought the G back in G Unit. I bought the G back in G Unit. Yeah, Kid. Look at that. Ryan Jeffrey says, Kid fire. F the fame. Peanut from Mazan. Yup. Timothy Jones said 50 on that movie and TV series money right now. Maybe later 50 grow up. You know, and Tim or TJ, you know, there's a lot of other opportunities 50 could have if he actually later in life developed a G Unit TV show. You know what I mean? But that's just the fan in me talking, because I thought back in the day 50 would have had a real reality show when G Unit was actually trying to function as a record label. You know what I mean? I thought 50 would have had a record label TV show to where it would showcase all the different artists doing things. Not that show that he actually had with Yayo. Jesus. I thought 50 Cent's video game would have been a lot more interesting. Like, I thought you would have actually been able to accumulate money, put it in the bank, use said money for studio time and potentially to buy features. So then you would be doing all these robberies and drug deals in the game, putting your money in the bank, sort of like Grand Theft Auto, how you would accumulate money, but then you use the money to, you know, buy studio time, use the money to rent out nightclubs, use the money to buy a feature from Jadakiss or something like that. Why couldn't 50 Cent's game have been like that? Well, Mike A, to ask that about 50 Cent and Eminem should make an album. I think the best time for 50 and M to have made an album would have been in 2006 when they released The Rehab. The Rehab should have been a 50 Cent and Eminem collaboration album. I actually did a review with my co-host RBH on The Rehab. If you want to go check that out, my dude. I did a review on The Rehab, and we were actually discussing how 50 and Eminem should have really used that as a collaboration album, The Rehab, to really rebuild Shady Records and rebuild G Unit from what the game had done to them in the previous year, you know? Aaron, what up? What up? What up? 50 Cent needs to bring back his video game, shoes, and clothes back. Ryan says, oh, Ryan, out of those things, what did you buy? Let me know what you buy. Did you buy the video game, the shoes, and the clothes? Let me know which things you bought, man. What? What has he? I just basically laid out a video game idea where you could become a music entertainer, which is what everybody wants to do. You could basically go out and do your jugs. You could go rob a bank. You could go rob somebody in the game. You could go sell drugs, like how in Mafia they were running around and selling all those kilos and shit. Then you take that money, you put it into your bank, maybe do something a little bit more interesting where it doesn't just go into the bank, where you actually virtually go to the bank and then you go like, because in Grand Theft Auto, you can go buy clothes, you can go buy guns at the gun store. You should be able in 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying game to go to a video, to go to a recording spot. You should be able to go to a recording spot and buy studio time. Yo, everybody wants to do. Man, Haas, I bet you wanted to be a rapper your whole life. You know what, man? You should have been able to play a video game like that. That would have helped you figure out how to be a rapper. What up, Slim Porter? Appreciate you, man. Driz215 says, great idea. Yo, I appreciate that, Driz. Definitely appreciate that. Rosewood in the building. Major salute to you. Rosewood, did you miss my video game idea? Yo, John Allen says, salute the mother chat and the main man, Mikey T, the movie star, chasing boy, limousine, racing boy. Salute, my G. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hit that like button if you haven't already and share this video. What rapper did stick-ups? What rapper did stick-ups for studio time? Are you kidding me right now? E-Moneybags. E-Moneybags was sticking people up and then recording. E-Moneybags was even running in people's recording studios. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm not reading out no more of your comments. You don't know history of hip-hop. You don't know your history of hip-hop. I'm not reading out one more comment of yours. Boom, right there, dollar bill. If my record don't sell, I'm a rob and steal. Well, Big Junior, that was actually just the idea that I had for what Get Rich or Die Trying the video game should have been. That's my idea for what 50's video game actually should have been. Sorry, guys, got a text. Free NBA YoungBoy, damn right. Buck's growth was stunted. Yeah, Buck had an amazing period of his career, you guys, from his first album. You know what I mean? Look what he did on his first album. He put Ludacris and T.I. together on his album. It was a very, you know what I mean? Shorty Wanna Ride was a breakthrough success. Some people even like Shorty Wanna Ride more than freaking Lloyd Banks's record On Fire. You know what I mean? So Buck really had taken on a life of his own. His second album came out and it was kind of long. It was kind of like it was a long period between the first and the second album. So that's kind of how his career got stunted out a little bit, in my opinion. But also on that second album, you got to understand, Young Buck actually brought Linkin Park to the table. Young Buck recorded with the main vocalist from Linkin Park and had him on his album. I don't understand, excuse me. Linkin Park and Jay-Z had just collaborated where they had fused both of their albums together. I don't understand how 50 Cent missed the opportunity to promote that Linkin Park had come together with G-Unit. Do you understand the record sales they would have had for Buck's second album? And never mind the fact that Buck had got involved in that whole Vibe Award shit. His album should have came out a lot sooner. John Allen says, "Oh shoot, the hood's gold grove grown a rose wood. Mikey teeth." What? I don't know what the hell you said there. Brian says Scarface could have been better than Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, but it wasn't because you couldn't walk around and do the same gameplay. Driz says it would have been better than Saints Row, Mikey T. Yeah, the game that I laid out would have been better than Saints Row. Yeah, Kid has some bars. He actually came on the show last night and a couple nights ago and spit some bars for us. Buck didn't know how to manage his money. Bond Simmons should have signed to Rock Nation. GTA San Andreas is the best game. GT San Andreas is the best game. GT San Andreas. Meh. I like the last one probably. But yeah, for everyone just tuning in, 50 Cent basically called out Young Buck. He said, SMH. He only makes a fool of himself and the transgender man he was dating for a year. Gets angry every time he says he got catfished. Stop lying. Damn. So basically, he's saying that the transgender man gets mad every time he gets catfished. And it's like some sort of an argument they have at their house or something. He's like, you're ashamed of me. You won't tell everybody we're together. You're ashamed of me. And Buck is like, listen, I just can't do this. It's bad for my image. You know, the public won't understand us. So like, it's like as if it's like something that like Elton John or something that the dude, you know what I mean, Lil Nas X went through, where you can't admit that you're actually homosexual. But I don't think that's the case, man. I think 50's just taking it another theatrical way, saying that the transgender man he was dating for a year gets angry every time he says that he got catfished. Stop lying. Damn. So I think he's also saying stop lying, damn, because of the whole video that was attached of Young Buck pretty much saying that their feud was over. Young Buck saying that their whole feud was plotted out by them two together. They actually made it up. I wasn't buying that whatsoever, that they made up the beef, that 50 was trying to do that in order to regain Buck's popularity. I highly doubt that conversation ever happened. Conversation where Buck says 50 basically said to him, 50 was like, that 50 claimed that he sat down with Buck and explained how they were going to capitalize off of Young Buck losing his popularity, how they were going to capitalize off of putting a smear campaign over Buck. And 50 asked Buck, do you think you can handle it? And Young Buck went as far to say, I guess 50 was right because they love me again. Buck hasn't gotten any more mainstream publicity in a positive way since this whole thing happened. You know what I mean? No favor has been given to Young Buck since this whole thing has happened, y'all. All it is pretty much embarrassing. It's really just embarrassment that has followed Young Buck. And, not being able to put out albums. He hasn't been able to put out any albums. He's put out various mixtapes. So probably getting some streaming dollars. Probably getting some streaming dollars, but I couldn't tell you what his Spotify numbers are. I lost interest in Buck's music a long time ago. No, it wasn't because of that dollar bill. That's one of the reasons 50 did get pissed off at them, though. 50 was upset that they weren't all repping, and they were all pretty much using their money to buy more. You buy some shoes that are like $600-$700, $800, that's $50 in the stores, but free for you. You know what I mean? Like it didn't make any sense to 50, especially since they all had endorsement deals allegedly with G Unit branding. Now Buck went on Vlad interview and claimed that they were supposed to be a part of the vitamin water money as well. That was a whole nother thing. R.I.P. Chinks, R.I.P. Stacks. That's right. R.I.P. the guys. Mikey T, you're on point. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate Far Rock checking in. Ryan Jeffries says 50 times Kid times Young Buck. Ah, shit. Kid told me that he had a full album worth of material done with Young Buck. So you got to ask the question, like, why is that not getting released? Why is Kid not getting the ability to release an album worth of material with Young Buck on G Unit? Why would 50 not release that album? It doesn't make any sense to me. Connecticut on the check-in. Drew 730. Major salute to you, man. Shout out to G Unit. Major salute to G Unit. You know I got love for G Unit, man. Come on, it's an East Coast thing. Hit that like button if you're just tapping in. 313, what up? What up, Dry? 313, what up, Mikey T? 313, what up, Mikey T? Yo, Great Scott says, think like an animal times Bond Simmons out now on YouTube. God damn right. Appreciate you, Great Scott. What up, Nathan Harris? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. He said, yo, T. Chemo says Young Buck had an interview not too long ago. He was trying to clean it up. Yeah, I was actually speaking on that earlier, Chemo, when I was saying if Young Buck had not kept on going back and forth with the transgender, if he would have just been like, yo, it's something that happened to me. I got catfished. I left the room. It was over. It was done with. I never looked back. Are you kidding me? Like, shit happens. But no, Young Buck isn't doing that. Young Buck is on the phone trying to pay this person to take the shit off a line. Young Buck was doing too much extra shit. It's like, how are you still in contact with the transgender? If I would have left that room, I would have left that room. I would have blocked that number. You know what I'm saying? I would have blocked that number and I would have been like, out. I would, no more. Peace. Buck said they stopped getting paid for the clothes because they wasn't wearing them. Clothes, the shoes, all the endorsements. Smoking on that platinum into 318. Yo, where's the 318, bro? What up, Big Mikey T? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Hold on one second. I'm about to send this link to this young boy that ARab told me about today, Bricks. 1 second. I'm about to send this shit to AR Ab's YoungBoy Bricks. Ab was telling me about this YoungBoy, man. Yo, just sent it to Bricks. I was actually, for everyone in here, I want y'all to hear something right now. I want y'all to tell me if you can hear this. Okay, Rosewood is on that platinum. Rosewood is on that platinum. I want y'all to tell me if y'all can hear this.
Let's call it from a federal prison.
Rosewood, can you hear this?
Let's call it from a federal prison. 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 Let's call it from a federal. Let's call it from a federal. Let's call it from a federal prison.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that shit? Y'all know what I got?
Let's call it from a federal prison. Let's call it from a federal prison. Let's call it from a federal prison. Let's call it from a federal prison.
Y'all hear that shit? Y'all hear that shit? Y'all know who I got to interview? Y'all know who I got an interview coming up with?
Let's call it from a federal prison.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's damn right. It's coming, y'all.
Let's call it from a federal prison.
It's coming, you guys. Yup, damn right, Chemo. That shit's coming, man. Hope y'all is ready. It's obvious. It's obvious. Free OBH. Shout out my guy Twiz. Oh shit. Is it Rollo? Is it Rollo? Yo, Chang Jones. Chang Jones, listen to this, bro.
Let's call it from a federal prison. Let's call it from a federal prison.
Y'all ready? I hope y'all ready for that. We're about to blow this shit up, man. We're about to blow this shit up, you guys. We're about to blow this shit up. We're about to take this shit over. Hottest new blogger, man. Free AR Rab. Free the Top Goon. Free Rollo. Free AR Rab. Damn right. Free the big bro. Free the big bro AR Rab. That's your favorite rapper, Slim? That's my favorite rapper, too. Yo, does AR Rab have a better song than Come For Me? Justin says, don't know artist Buck. And you know, Justin, that's from anybody at one point. Like Young Buck had worked with Luda, Trick Daddy, Jack, so many different artists. It was like, holy shit. Where's everybody now? What's his latest feature? You know what I mean? I think he actually did a record with Moneybagg Yo a few years ago. Free Fujiano. Is Fujiano still locked up, man? Yeah, they probably got his shit on hold. They probably got his shit on hold because I did read a number for bail, but sometimes they'll give you bail on a certain charge, but you'll have a hold based on the fact that he was already on house arrest. King Wavy TV says people don't want to work with Buck, so they don't be labeled. Yeah, right now, kind of working with Young Buck, it leads to like a tarnish. There's a bit like of a tarnish on your name. There's a little bit of a tarnish on your name. Yo, what up? Life with the Philly fam is in the building. I was trying to get my guy to tap into the video, but you know, he's a family guy too. Life with the Philly fam, but he's also the hood blogger. Salute my guy. We actually just put an update on Dark Low out. And yo, Twitch. I guess we're back now. That's crazy.